Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. This is yours truly, Johnnie White, and the sun's the west, and we'd like to do a song here for you called The Two Old Maids. This particular song, we originated a number of years back when we was playing a dance very similar to this. We had about 10 minutes to go and 15 requests. After the dance, we thought how funny it would be if we inserted between each one of the song a couple of lines with which we call The Two Old Maids. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, well, I don't hurt anymore. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crocked all the time. You ain't nothing but a hot dog. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, I've got a tiger by the tail, it's plain to see. I won't be much. You hear the story about the two old maids that got on a drunk that nearly killed him? Also about the two old maids walking down the street and happened to pass his barber shop, and one old maid thought she recognized her boyfriend sitting in a chair, so she stuck her head in the door and she said, Bob Peters here? The barber says, no, ma'am. We just give shaving haircuts. Also about the old maid that found a tramp under her bed. Her stomach was on the bum the rest of the evening. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ding, dang, walla, walla, wing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ding, dang, walla, walla, bang, bang. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, just remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy. Speaking of a cowboy, did you hear the story about the young lady that was a tourist down in Texas? She walked in this bar, and here stood this fellow about 6'4", 220 pounds. So she walked up to him. She says, sir, are you a real Texan? He said, yes, ma'am. He said, down here in Texas, just naturally growing big, 6'4", 220 pounds. She said, you know, I'd just love to put my arms around your chest. He said, well, anything to oblige, ma'am. Go right ahead. So she put her arms around his chest. She said, ooh, you got the biggest chest. And he said, yes, ma'am, just naturally growing big down here in Texas, 6'4", 220 pounds. She said, I'd just love to go out with you. So they went. A few minutes later, they checked into the motel. He said to her, ma'am, you sure you're not from Texas? Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, oh, let me go, let me go, let me go, lover, lover, lover. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon up above. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, you hear the story about the two old maids sitting at the bar? And the bartender was mixing her drinks a little bit strong. One old maid looked at the other and she said, you know, if I had another one of these drinks, I could feel it. And the other old maid said, if I had another one of these drinks, I wouldn't give a damn who felt it. Also, about that time, one of the girls let out a great big scream. She said, help, somebody geese me. The bartender, being an educated man, he run over and he said, what's the matter, lady? She said, somebody geese me. He said, you mean somebody goosed you? She said, no, I can tell when there's more than one finger back there. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, I'm back in the saddle again. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, hear the story about the two old maids that got caught in a haunted house and this ghost was going around scaring the daylights out of everybody? Walked up to the first old maid and said, hocus pocus, hocus pocus. Walked up to the second old maid and he said, hocus pocus. The second old maid, a little bit braver than her sister, she jumped out of the bed, looked that ghost in the eye, and she said, forget about that hocus. Also about the two old maids walking down the street. One thought she recognized her girlfriend across the street, so she punched her sister, and she said, say, isn't that Hortense? And her sister said, no, she's relaxed. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, just a little loving will go a long way. one turned over and the other one said, give me 5 minutes more, only 5 minutes more. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, I got a hungry for your love, and I'm awaiting your welfare line. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, hear the story about the two old maids that went on a diet. One was trying to diet and the other one was dying to try it. Also about the old maid that went halfway from here to San Diego before she realized the 17-inch Admiral was a TV set. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, I'm in the mood for love. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, put your arms around me, honey, hold me tight, huddle up and cuddle up with all your might. Oh. Hear about the absent-minded old maid that worked in the hospital? She made the patient without disturbing the bed. Also about the two old maids walking down the street and happened to pass this barber shop, and this barber was giving this fella a beetle haircut. He was singeing his hair. And one old maid, she looked at the other and she said, say, do you smell hair burning? Her sister said, yeah, do you think we're walking too fast? Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, I can't give you anything but love, baby. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, you know, the other night, I was feeling pretty good, you know, and I picked this young lady up, and we went out town, and we was parking, and I was talking to her and what have you, and all of a sudden there's a big flashlight hit me in the face, and looked up, and there was this officer. He said, what are you doing there, boy? And I said, well, why, nothing, officer. He said, then you get out here and hold the flashlight and let me in there. and I took a good look, and I said, oh, officer, I said, well, all I'm doing is just sitting here making love to my wife. And he said, well, I'm sorry, I hate to disturb you. He said, I didn't know you was making love to your wife. And I said, I didn't either until you turned that flashlight on. You hear about the musician trying to get out of the insane asylum? And every month that this doctor had come around, he'd asked him the same question, buddy, what are you going to do when you get out of this hospital? And this musician said, well, Doc, he says, because there's no women around here, they don't give me nothing to drink. He said, I'm so mad, as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to knock every window out in this place. And so the doctor naturally wrote rejected on a slip. So after about 12 of these examinations, even this nut began to wise up. So the doctor asked him for the umpteenth time, what are you going to do when you get out of here? He said, Doc, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go into town, I'm going to buy me a car, and I'm going to take in a local movie, and I'm going to go down and pick me up a good-looking girl and have a few dances and a few drinks. Doc says, boy, you're getting some sense now. Then what are you going to do? He said, we're going to take a ride out in the country. Doc said, you're getting some sense now. Then what are you going to do? Well, we're going to park under a shade tree, and I'm going to reach over, and I'm going to give her a great big kiss. Doc says, boy, you're getting some sense now. Then what are you going to do? He said, then I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to put it up under her dress. Doc said, yeah, then what are you going to do? He said, then I'm going to take off her panties. Doc says, boy, you're getting some sense now. Then what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to take the elastic out of them panties, make me a slingshot, come back in, break every damn window out in this place. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said, welcome to my world. Say, you know, we've had quite a few songs here this evening requested. We don't know the tunes yet and the words, but we'll try to learn them. Here was one, for instance, I met my girl on top of the cliff, and that's where I knocked her over. And then as she fell off the cliff, I ran down under her, and when she came down, that's when I knocked her up. And here's another beautiful tune called Meet Me at the Rock Pile. There I get a little bolder. Also, I met her by the river, and that's where she came across. I'm in the mood for love. Oh, here's a cute one here. She must have been a fisherman's daughter, because when I showed her my rod, she reeled. Here's one called Get Off the Table, Mabel, at $2 for beer. Or Get Back on the Table, Mabel, to hell with the beer. Here's one called, here's the prettiest one. I call my sugar candy because she makes my peanut brittle. Say, now that I've got everybody's attention like that's a little riddle here. Do you fellas know the difference between a light sleeper and a hard sleeper? Well, a light sleeper sleeps with the light on, and a hard sleeper sleeps with...
Hold it, John.
Well, all I was going to say, a hard sleeper sleeps with the window open about this far. Two old maids laying in the bed, one turned over and the other one said,
Yes, we have.